Get ready.
This is the voice of Wayne America.
Lighten up, Francis.
With your host,
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Mike Carnes.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
Only at WayneAmerica.com.
The supernova's gonna kill us all.
Okay, this guy is the real zero, that's true. Let's just think back when you guys were freshmen, huh?
.com.
Greetings from Wayne America. This is the Voice of Wayne America podcast, an exclusive here at WayneAmerica.com. I'm your host, Mike Carnes, and every week here on Voice of Wayne America, we sit down with somebody who has some kind of connection to the community of Wayne, whether they're a local resident, a former resident, somebody with some kind of tie to the community, somebody who works here in town, and we'll just sit here and talk about their field of interest and how it all ties in with the best town in all of Nebraska. Let's face it, it's the best town in all of America. No more arguments, please. This is it. Wayne America right here is where it's at. And so we're going to talk about that on the show today, and we want to thank our sponsors, including AKA 142 Media, and your business can also be a part of the podcast here. And for more information, you can email me at mike@mikeycproductions.com. Here in Wayne America, we're blessed with many things, and one of the blessings in this community is something that a lot of people may not know exists here, but if you're a survivor of domestic violence or sexual assault and you don't know about Haven House, you really need to know about the services that they offer, and these are amazing, wonderful people doing some great work in some difficult circumstances. And our guest this week on Voice of Wayne America is Amy Munderloh, who is the new executive director of Haven House, recently took over for Nandy Cederland, who retired after more than 20 years as the executive director of Haven House. And before we proceed, I do want to mention, and I feel it's important for people to know that I am a member of the Haven House Board of Directors, a position that I'm very proud to serve in. And so I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk about Haven House and to talk with Amy here. And I know, Amy, you've been at it now for a couple months and had some pretty big shoes to fill with Nancy retiring here recently after being here for more than 20 years. How's the transition been going with you taking over now?
The transition's been great. It's been really inspiring to see the community support and just our staff really serving those that need crisis intervention for either domestic violence or sexual assault.
It's great work that these people do here, and I know that we were very excited to on the Haven House board to hear that Amy had expressed an interest in the position when it was announced last year that Nancy was going to retire. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background, where you came to Haven House from, and tell us a little bit about your career to this point.
Okay. Well, my heart is really in human services. I've been doing it really since I graduated from college. I graduated from Midland University and with a sociology degree. And I started my career in being a correctional officer for Dodge County and also Thurston County. And then I enrolled in the graduate school at Wayne State College in the social services program, where I specialize in sociology, psychology, human services, and I did that I graduated in 2.5 years, and I went right into a human services career, and that was at Northeast Nebraska Community Action Partnership, and that is a health and human services agency that serves 14 county service area with over 12 social services programs. Mm-hmm. And my main job was grant writing, working in administration. And I learned very quickly through internships and being a correctional officer that my strength was not serving clients one-on-one. It was more the behind-the-scenes work. And that's where I thrive and I love watching our staff thrive in actually helping people one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to, work towards your strengths.
Yeah. What inspired you to get involved in this line of work in the beginning when you were first out of high school and going through college? What was the inspiration for this?
Well, I come from a family that loves to serve people, serve families, and we've always been just very helpful. Mm-hmm. And I've always been that type of person that loves the feeling of really making a difference in someone's life. And so I followed that career.
You just followed that path, huh?
Followed that path and has never looked back.
That's
Yeah, my husband is the same way. He's a funeral director for Northeast Nebraska. We have our main offices in Pender, and that's how my husband and I live our lives, is serving people.
Yeah. So that's two areas where serving people is very, very vital, very important, and so that's great that you found a career path that really kind of suits your passions. So,
thank you.
We're talking with Amy Munderloh. She's the executive director of Haven House here in Wayne, and I wanted to take a moment to ask the question: what does the AKA in AKA 142 Media stand for? Well, a lot of people have been asking that question, and it stands for many things, but what's most important is that AKA 142 Media provides awesome kickin' apps that can be downloaded to your phone or tablet. Whether it's your school, your favorite youth sports program, or your local business, AKA 142 Media can build an awesome kickin' app that meets your needs. Drop Kevin an email at kevin@aka142.com and tell him that Mike sent you. That's AKA 142 Media, awesome kickin' apps. We're talking with Amy Munderloh, the executive director of Haven House here in Wayne. And, a lot of people who know about Haven House know that it is a nonprofit organization, and they help out those who find themselves in a situation where they're dealing with sexual assault or domestic violence. And there's a lot of services that Haven House can offer people in that situation. And Amy, can you tell us some about some of the services that Haven House offers people in that situation?
Sure. Our services include a 24-hour crisis line. We also provide crisis intervention. We have quite a few families, single individuals, also youth that come in and that need immediate crisis intervention. We actually helped 255 individuals just last year with that. And we have offices in Wayne and in South Sioux City. So that's a big part of our services. We also have 2 emergency shelters, one in Wayne County and one in Dakota County. And victims of domestic violence and sexual assault are able to get emergency shelter right away. Mm-hmm. And they can be in there from, a week to 1 month to even longer than that. We also provide protection order assistance, criminal justice advocacy, and resource and referral assistance. Okay,
and I think the one thing that I think is really important with what Haven House offers is that crisis hotline. That's something that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always somebody that is able to pick up that phone or to answer that phone call and get a hold of somebody. And that number is 800-440-4633. And I know that the people on staff here are part of that crisis line. They're available to answer that call pretty much at any time of day or night.
Sure. We have trained crisis personnel that really help with resource and referral information, or if someone wants just to talk about their situation and really just needs reassurance, guidance, advice, we're able to do that. We're also able to like I said, provide emergency shelter if that's what is important and they need to get out of their situation right away. We also talk about having a safety plan with domestic violence victims. So there's a plethora of things that we can help you with. Bullying is another thing that we can help youth and adults with.
Mm-hmm. Bullying is a topic that has really become a much talked about topic here, particularly within the last 10 years. I know that there's been efforts to deal with that crime as well, and then it's something that I think a lot of people don't maybe associate with domestic violence, but it is a violent act against another human being, and that's something that needs to be addressed. I know one of your responsibilities here as the executive director, you have a lot of balls in the air that you got to keep going, and I know one of those important things is securing the funding that's required to keep the doors open and the lights on here at Haven House, and I know that Nancy and now you, of course, have a lot of outstanding people in the community that you've been able to talk to and that have been able to make generous donations to Haven House, and especially in this year, especially with the Nebraska legislature talks of budget cuts coming down the line. I know that funding is very, very important for Haven House. What sources do you rely on for funding for the organization?
We rely on state and federal funding. A large funding source comes from the Office of Health and Human Services, mm-hmm. and then also funding from the Nebraska Crime Commission. This funding is facing cuts in the next year or two. We've been told that we're going to face between a 10% to a 50% cut, and we'll be notified in the next 6 months. So that's pretty worrisome. I am working on private foundation grants, and we're also going to be working on doing a capital campaign to help with shelter needs. Our shelter needs quite a few repairs, and just like painting, flooring, windows, doors. We own our own shelter in Wayne, and we rent in Dakota County. So we have quite a few needs there, and then also just operational expenses. We're hoping we don't get hit too hard, but you just never know.
Yeah, when you're talking about state budget cuts, it's something I think every entity that relies on state and federal funding, whenever the government talks about making cuts, that's something that is of particular concern to everybody involved. And I know in the case of Haven House that's particularly a big concern because there's so much that this group offers as far as helping people out in times of crisis, and so you'd hate to see that sort of thing happen. We're talking here with Amy Munderloh, the executive director of Haven House here in Wayne, and did want to take a chance here to tell you that your business can be in this spot on the Voice of Wayne America podcast. This podcast is geared towards celebrating and promoting the community of Wayne America, and your business can be a part of this program by advertising as a sponsor in this spot here. For more information, you can give me a call at 402-660-9682 or shoot me an email at mike@mikeycproductions.com. Talking, as we said, with Amy Munderloh from the Haven House. She's the executive director here. Just came on board here a few months ago, taking over for Nancy Cederland, who was the executive director here for more than 2 decades. And I know we've talked a little bit about public support, but I know that there are a lot of people in the community that have traditionally been very generous with their gifts, their donations of blankets and clothing and other things. And I know that there are a lot of people who are interested in volunteering and helping out mm-hmm. with the organization as well. If somebody's interested in volunteering with Haven House, what do they need to do?
They can call our office number at 402-375-5433. There's also volunteer opportunities in South Sioux City as well. But volunteers are a very important part of our operations here, whether it's just folding newsletters, answering calls. You could also be a trained crisis line advocate. You can help clean our shelter, do outside work. We have a variety of tasks that need to be done on a daily basis, and it really helps if we have volunteers to help us. And we could call you sporadically, or you can come every Friday. We're pretty flexible, and we have quite a few volunteers that help us, but we can always use more. Yeah,
and the people who have donated over the years, whether it's financial donations or donations of other kinds, that's something that I don't think gets congratulated, or I don't think we can thank them enough for all that, because that means so much to people that work here, and also the people who benefit from that when they come here in a time of crisis.
Mm-hmm. It really shows the impact that we've had in the area when you see people coming in and writing a check for $10, $25, $100, and we get them in the mail also after we send our newsletter to them or our holiday letter. It's been really, really inspiring to see the support. And, I started during the holiday season, so I had no idea that we were supported in this way. And it's just been very appreciated and great to see.
Yeah, we're talking here with Amy Munderloh, the executive director of Haven House. And as the new executive director, this is how new she is. She hasn't put stuff up on the walls yet. We're recording this in her office here at the office, and she's got a hammer and some nails out. I think she's going to get some of her personal stuff up here, and probably some family pictures or something like that. So you're still kind of new in this thing. So I know that you've done some great work already. But what, as far as going forward here, what are some plans that you'd like to see Haven House accomplish in the near term and then long term down the road as well?
Well, I think the biggest thing is outreach. We have a 5-county service area, and I'd like to just get out and really meet the communities that we serve, see what their needs are, and create our services and programs according to those needs in regards to domestic violence and sexual assault. We also have a lot of needs. So like I said before, we're going to be having a capital campaign to help really repair our shelters and make them a nice place to go to when you're in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot going on.
There's a lot, a lot going on.
You bet. And tell me again, how many people did Haven House serve last year?
255.
255, and you think about that. That's about about 4, 5, 7 people a week, or suppose,
yes,
on a weekly basis in a 5-county area, which that there are that many people that need this support is. I guess on the one hand, it's great that this support is available, but that it has to be available is one thing that I think is something that we all wish we didn't have to provide. That we didn't have to have this available for people, that people who have been through domestic violence or sexual assault wouldn't have to go through that in their lives.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that there is. Unfortunately, that much need and crisis is going on in the area. We're just happy that we're here to help, and we really rely on other health and human services agencies as well. So we all try to work together and serve the needs in the area.
Mm-hmm. And again, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast here, I am a member of the Haven House Board of Directors, so I do have a little skin in the game, I guess, as far as this interview goes. But having been a part of this board over the last several years and having seen the work that these people do, I can safely say, without hesitation, that the work that they do here is fantastic, and they do a tremendous service for the people in the community who need these services available. And I know I can speak for the rest of the board that we were very excited about having Amy as our executive director at Haven House, and we know that she's going to do some fantastic things for her. And Amy, I wanted to thank you for taking the time, especially on short notice, but I appreciate you taking time to talk about Haven House this week, and look forward to seeing what happens down the road with Haven House in the years to come.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Voice of Wayne America. And again, I want to thank our guest, Amy Munderloh, the executive director of Haven House. For more information on Haven House and what it has to offer, go to their website at havenhousefsc.com. And if you need help anytime, call their 24-hour crisis hotline at 800-440-4633. That's 800-440-4633. Check back to WayneAmerica.com as we continue to tell the stories of the people who make this the best town in Nebraska, if not the best town in all of America, and that's right here in Wayne America. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.